How seniors are redefining beauty after 70, inside and out. There's a moment, quiet, almost imperceptible, when the face in the mirror changes. Not suddenly, not overnight, but slowly, like the tide pulling back from the shore. The skin softens. Lines form where laughter once lived. Hair, once defiant, now surrenders to silver. And yet, the world keeps insisting that beauty belongs to the young, that the map of your face is something to correct, to hide, to erase. But you know better. Deep down, beneath the noise of billboards and commercials and magazine covers, you know that beauty isn't something you lose. It's something you grow into. Because true beauty has very little to do with smooth skin or thick hair or the perfect curve of a jawline. True beauty is quieter, deeper, harder to photograph. It's in the way your eyes crinkle when you laugh, in the surety of your step, in the gentle way you speak when words are hard to find. It's in the years you've lived, the battles you've fought, the kindness you've chosen even when life made it hard. Somewhere along the way, the world forgot that. It forgot that beauty can be found in a lined hand, resting on a table, in a gray head bowed in thought, in a slow smile that takes its time. But not you. You and so many others like you are redefining what it means to be beautiful after 70. Quietly, steadily, gracefully, you're reminding the world that beauty doesn't fade. It evolves. It deepens. It settles into your bones and shines out of your eyes and wraps itself around every story you've lived. You're not chasing youth anymore. And what a relief that is. You're not measuring yourself against the impossible anymore. You're not interested in turning back time. You know now that real beauty isn't about holding on to what was. It's about embracing what is and standing tall in it. So today, let's talk honestly about what beauty looks like when you stop fighting the clock. Let's explore how, after 70, beauty becomes not just something you see, but something you feel, something you live, something you pass on without even realizing it. Because the truth is, you haven't lost your beauty. You've only just begun to wear it fully. There was a time when beauty came with rules. Unwritten, but well understood. Be young, be smooth, be slim, be everything but yourself. It was a narrow box, dressed up with glossy magazines and television screens, whispering the same message again and again. Beauty belongs to the young and everyone else is simply waiting in the wings, slowly fading out of the spotlight. But something is shifting. Slowly, like the first crack of dawn breaking across a dark sky, a new understanding is taking shape. And it's being led not by the young, but by those who know better. By those who have lived long enough to realize that beauty is not a prize awarded at 25 and revoked at 70. It's not a race you win by staying unchanged. It's a slow unfolding thing, a becoming. For so long, the standards were narrow, rigid, built around ideals that were impossible even for the young to hold on to. But the beauty after 70 looks nothing like the airbrushed photos in the magazines. It's more real, more layered, more alive. It looks like laughter lines that map out a lifetime of joy and sorrow. It looks like hands worn soft by years of work and love and holding on. It looks like eyes that have seen too much and yet still soften with compassion. Those who are redefining beauty after 70 aren't chasing the old standards anymore. They're rewriting them. They're trading in the desperate pursuit of youth for the grounded presence of authenticity. They are no longer interested in looking younger. They are interested in looking like themselves. You can feel it in the quiet confidence of someone who smiles without worrying about how their skin moves. In the relaxed posture of someone who no longer sees their worth reflected in the mirror. In the gentle way they move through the world, no longer hustling for approval, but offering instead the gift of their full, unvarnished self. Beauty after 70 isn't loud. It doesn't clamor for attention, it doesn't need to. It's the kind of beauty that doesn't ask permission or seek validation. It simply is, undeniable, unpretentious, unafraid. Breaking free from old standards means letting go of the belief that you must fit into someone else's definition of worth. It means realizing that the most beautiful people are not those who never aged, but those who aged without losing their light. It's the kind of freedom that only comes with time, the kind that lets you walk into a room and bring it to life, not because you match someone's idea of perfection, but because you radiate something they can't name but can't ignore. The world may still try to sell you the old standards, but the truth is, you've already outgrown them. And in doing so, you've stepped into a kind of beauty that's bigger, broader, and braver than anything you could have imagined before. There's a certain kind of beauty that can't be bought or faked or conjured up in the mirror. It's the beauty that comes from being, from living, from falling down and getting up again, from choosing to be kind when it would have been easier not to. It's the beauty that seeps out from the edges of a life well lived, that clings to a person not because of how they look, but because of who they are. By 70, beauty has less to do with symmetry and more to do with substance. It's not about flawless skin or youthful silhouettes. It's about the invisible things, the quiet patience in your voice when others rush past, the kindness in your eyes when someone is hurting, the resilience in your step after another loss, another challenge, another start again. Wisdom has a way of softening the face. It settles into the lines around your mouth, the crow's feet at the corners of your eyes. Not as burdens, but as badges. Quiet reminders of the years you've spent learning, growing, forgiving, understanding. Every laugh line is a record of joy. Every crease a testament to survival. Kindness, too, leaves its mark. Not the kind that is loud and performative, but the steady, day in, day out choice to be gentle with the world. It shapes you in ways no lotion or treatment can replicate. It makes you beautiful in the truest sense. Someone others want to be around not because you shine, but because you warm them. And resilience, perhaps the most breathtaking beauty of all. The beauty of someone who has faced heartache and disappointment, who has tasted bitterness and sorrow, and still finds a way to rise each morning with gratitude. There is a strength in that kind of beauty, a gravity that draws others close, a silent permission for them to be strong too. By 70, you wear your life not just on your skin, but in your spirit. You carry the stories that shaped you, the triumphs and the wounds, the laughter and the losses. And somehow in the weaving of it all, you become something remarkable, a living example of how beautiful it is to endure, to love, to forgive, to keep moving. This is the beauty that doesn't fade. If anything, it grows stronger with each passing year. It deepens like a river cutting through stone, shaping not just the surface but the soul beneath. There's a radiance to someone who has embraced their life fully, not just the polished moments, but the hard ones too. It's a light that comes from within and makes everything around it a little softer, a little kinder, a little more real. The world may call this aging, but you know better. It's not aging, it's becoming. It's the slow, patient work of a life that has chosen again and again to show up, to love, to endure, and there is nothing more beautiful than that. Somewhere along the way, we were taught that taking care of ourselves was a performance, a show for the world to applaud or critique. The right clothes, the right hairstyle, the right makeup, all signals of worth measured by the eyes of others. But one of the quiet revolutions that happens after 70 is learning to care for yourself for an entirely different reason. Not to impress, not to compete, but simply for joy. It's a shift as profound as it is liberating. Suddenly, the mirror is no longer a judge but a friend. The rituals you once raced through, brushing your hair, choosing your outfit, applying a touch of color to your cheeks, become small celebrations, acts of affection toward the person you've become. Self-care at 70 isn't about chasing youth, it's about honoring yourself. This body that has carried you through decades of living. This face that has witnessed every joy and sorrow. This heart that has stayed open when it would have been easier to close. It might be slipping into a favorite dress not because it's fashionable, but because it makes you feel good. It might be taking long walks, not to chase a number on a scale, but to feel the rhythm of your own breath and the strength in your own stride. It might be sitting with a cup of tea, rubbing lotion into your hands, hands that have held so much, and feeling for just a moment the tender miracle of being alive. There's beauty in this kind of care. Beauty in doing things not for approval, but for pleasure. Beauty in realizing that grooming and dressing and moving your body can be acts of joy, not obligation. And for many, this is where the real fun begins. Without the weight of other people's expectations, style becomes playful again. There's a kind of freedom in dressing for yourself, choosing colors that make you smile, fabrics that feel good against your skin, shoes that carry you comfortably through your days. Skin care, once a desperate attempt to halt time, becomes a simple ritual of gratitude, a way to say thank you to the face that has carried your laughter, your tears, your courage. Fitness, too, shifts from punishment to pleasure. Movement becomes less about fitting into a mold and more about feeling at home in your own body. Dancing in the living room, stretching slowly in the morning sun, walking at a pace that lets you notice the world around you. This kind of self-care, rooted in joy rather than performance, is a quiet rebellion against a culture that says beauty is only skin deep and only for the young. It's a way of saying, I am still here, I am still worthy, and I deserve to feel good. Not because you approve, but because I choose it for myself. And in that choice, beauty blooms. Quiet, sure, undeniable. In a world obsessed with erasing the visible signs of age, there's something radically beautiful about choosing to celebrate them instead. Wrinkles, gray hair, and the softening of skin are not flaws to be hidden. They are the evidence of a life deeply lived. They are the marks left by laughter and worry, by sleepless nights and joyful mornings, by years of loving, losing, trying, failing, beginning again. Each wrinkle is a story, a crease at the corner of the mouth, maybe the echo of 1,000 smiles, lines across the forehead, perhaps the record of years spent thinking deeply, wondering, hoping. The gentle sag of skin, the inevitable, beautiful yielding of a body that has carried the weight of living. And the gray hair, oh, the gray hair. Not a surrender, but a crown. Not a fading, but a flourishing. Every strand a testimony to survival, to experience, to the wisdom that only time can grant. There is a strange pressure in our culture to fight these signs, to see them as enemies. But the truth is, they are gifts. They are proof that you have been here, really been here. Proof that you've been willing to grow older, even when the world tried to tell you it was something to fear. Imagine if we wore these signs the way we wear medals, with pride, with gratitude. Imagine if we looked in the mirror and saw not what was lost, but what was gained. A face that tells the truth, a body that carries the weight of love and loss and still stands. There are stories etched into the skin that no photograph from youth can rival. There's a gravity in the presence of someone who has allowed themselves to age naturally, who meets the world as they are, without apology, and slowly, quietly, the world is beginning to notice. Older models are gracing the covers of magazines, once reserved for youth. Silver hair is becoming a symbol of style, of elegance. Wrinkled hands are being photographed, celebrated for their tenderness, their strength. But even if the world were not catching on, it would not matter. Because the celebration doesn't start on the pages of a magazine. It starts within. It starts when you look in the mirror and choose to honor the face looking back at you, not despite the changes, but because of them. To live long enough to grow older is a privilege denied to many. To wear the signs of life, to let them show is not a defeat, it's a declaration. This is what it looks like to live fully. This is what it looks like to love, to endure, to become, and there is no greater beauty than that. There comes a moment, quiet and undeniable, when you realize that beauty was never about perfection. It was never about youth or symmetry, or fitting neatly into someone else's idea of what should be admired. Beauty, real beauty, is something far deeper, far richer than that. It's in the way you've allowed yourself to grow. Not just older, but fuller, wiser, softer in the ways that matter most. It's in the way you've let time leave its fingerprints on you without trying to wipe them away. It's in the stories your body carries, the kindness etched into your voice, the resilience woven through your being. At 70 and beyond, beauty becomes less about being seen and more about seeing. Seeing yourself with gentleness, seeing the world with wonder, seeing others with compassion. It's about living with a heart that is broken and mended, with hands that have held and released, with a soul that has learned to dance even when the music changed. The world will always have its narrow definitions, its fleeting standards, its hollow demands. But you know better now. You know that beauty is not something you chase or preserve. It's something you cultivate, something you embody, something you offer to the world in every patient word, every warm smile, every steady step forward. Your beauty is not fading. It's deepening. It's ripening. It's becoming more unmistakably yours. You are not less than you once were. You are more layered, more luminous, more alive. So the next time you catch your reflection and notice the changes time has written on your face and your form, pause. Look closer. See not what's missing, but what's present. See not the years you've left behind, but the life you've carried forward. Because the truth is simple and profound. You are still beautiful. You have always been beautiful. And perhaps, now after all these years, you are finally wearing that beauty in its truest, fullest form, from the inside out.